Dobro večer. Ovo moram objaviti. Znači, ovaj lik, Michael Cohen, on je bio odvjetnik Trumpov koji je pokrivao njegova sranja, blago rečeno, i koji se okrenuo u jednom trenu protiv njega. Ajde da vidimo šta govori ovdje prije 2 mjeseca. Sad ćete vidjeti, znači smrad je u fajlovima, 100% je u fajlovima. Vidjet ćete kako malo cionističko, da ne velim kaj, kako đukac dolazi Trumpu pod noge. A to je ono što je Trump bio jednom izjavio: morat će me doći molit da ih primim natrag. Pazi ovo. Pazi sad ovog ljigavca.
Wearing a cross, Michael Cohen, wearing the cross. Here, play this clip.
Tomorrow, and I'll let the president speak for himself. Natalie.
Thank you, Caroline. What did the president mean when he called reporter piggy?
Look, the president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room. You've all seen it yourselves. You've all experienced it yourselves, and I think it's one of the many reasons that the American people reelected this president, because of his frankness. And he calls out fake news when he sees it. He gets frustrated with reporters when you lie about him, when you spread fake news about him and his administration. But he also is the most transparent president in history. And he gives all of you in this room, you all know, unprecedented access.
Kova crkva.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, let me ask you this question.
Joj, najtransparentnija crkva u Hrvatskoj.
That the journalist, this female journalist on Air Force One,
Pazi, slušaj smrada.
I believe she asked him a question about the Epstein files and the timing and what's happening and would you sign it into law. It was a question about that.
And can you tell me, please, as the legal beagle mind that you are, what is so offensive about asking when you intend to release the Epstein files, something that has basically taken over the news cycle for the last, I don't know, at least several months, 6 months? Why is that a disrespectful question to ask of the president, that the response should be to call this female journalist a pig?
When you are a deeply insecure, weak, pathetic shell of a man, that behavior right there is what we've seen before in Despicable Humans, and it is usually a lesson that we as mature adults try to instill in our children and instill in others not to behave that way. That this is really bad behavior, and at a very young age, to the extent we see children behaving in this way, we say, nope, bad child, it receives punishment. And the fact that we're seeing this behavior in a grown adult, in a leadership position, in the highest leader position, in the presidency, is something beyond despicable. Let's just play the clip to show when Donald Trump called that reporter piggy, just so people can see it. Let's play.
Yeah, Jennifer, go ahead.
Jeste primijetili kako su uvijek ti intervjue s tim idiotom, uvijek su u nekakvim avionima i uvijek je nekakva buka oko njega, baš zanimljivo.
Even the way he said it, like there's no good way to say quiet piggy, but like if he were to say quiet piggy,
Ben, how is it?
Tako se Plenković ponaša, isto.
The way he said it, there's in his voice, the way he even referred it to her. Like,
how about the finger pointing?
The finger pointing, quiet piggy, like it was a parody of a despicable, vile person, but it's real. So it wasn't parody, and you're watching it and you were like, if you were to kind of craft the script,
to se ne smije normalizirati nikada.
In a Hollywood movie of that behavior, you would be like, hey, no one's gonna believe that at all. And this is real life. This has real ramifications. And the way the reporter actually asked the question, I thought the question in the White House today, what did he mean by piggy? Sometimes the best questions are simple ones. What do you mean by that? And then Caroline Levitt's response was, he's direct in front. What does that mean? That she's a piggy? I mean, Caroline Levitt's response was Trump was being honest, she's a piggy, and the American people voted for him. This is what she said. Voted for him because they wanted, in the Oval Office, someone who refers to female reporters as...
Because he's, as you know, he's frank, right? He, he's transparent. I mean, look at the adjectives that she's using to justify an act, which I think every single one of us here has to acknowledge is despicable behavior. Not forgetting about the fact that it's by the President of the United States, but by anyone. In fact, if you were in elementary school, you'd get a timeout. If you were in, let's say, middle school, right, you probably would get punched in the face, right? And, and it only gets worse as you get older. I mean, it's so beneath the man. I can't believe it. When I saw it, I was shocked.
Yeah, and it was so shocking that the first time I reported on it, there was a disconnect.
We get rid of Congress too?
Well, and also, there's a few aspects of it. Number one, that. Number two, the cruelty that what you took out of the government shutdown is to get rid of the Department of Education. But three, the stupidity. The Department of Education does not deal with the way schools operate on a day-to-day basis within states.
Majko mila katastrofa.
Schools and the education system are local and state functions. Where the federal government comes in, where the Department of Education comes in, is to fill the gaps in areas that the states can't do. Oftentimes, dealing with students who are disabled students.
Čekaj da vidimo dalje kaj ovaj govori.
I want to be crystal clear about something. There is nobody in the world that will be able to ever convince me that the swastika is not a symbol of hate, that a noose is not a symbol of racism and hatred towards the black and brown community, all right? Or that the Confederate flag is a symbol of peace. It is not. And yet, this Department of War, which controls the Coast Guard, thinks that this is acceptable under this administration. And this, to me, this blows me away. This really angers me that the American people are sitting there and saying, yeah, you know what? And the KKK's white robes and their pointy little hats are symbols of freedom and goodness.
They're gonna now classify it as...
Evo ga, prije 2 mjeseca, a poslušajte ga sad. Znači, prije 22 sata je ovo snimljeno. Poslušajte sada to ljigavo stvorenje kako puzi ispod nogu.
Cohen story, because as you may or may not know, we did a story on Michael Cohen about a month or so ago that got about 1 million views, if not more. Here it is right here, went super viral. And what it pointed out was what we all thought might happen, was that Michael Cohen decided that he was going to go back into Donald Trump's hands. He's trying to get Donald Trump to pardon him, and he's trying to get back in Donald Trump's good graces. He said that he felt coerced by Tish James to say bad things about Donald Trump. Now, when we talked about that, an incredible thing happened. This community did what it always does. It rose up to the occasion. And as you can see here, on the 17th of January, that's the day before we put out this video, Michael Cohen had 533,000 subscribers. On Sunday, after we put out the video, Michael Cohen's subscribers started to dwindle. 4,000, 10,000, and then that brings us today, where we are at 504,000 subscribers. Well, I'm here to tell you that this should not be the end. That should be the beginning. We have to get him lower because he's now on the record. He's like in interviews. I have these clips coming up where he is saying that he wants to talk to Donald Trump on the phone. That he feels like the liberal crazy people are trying to cancel him.
Koji bijednike, koji
The reason why I want to do
bijednike.
another video is I think a lot of people don't know what's going on. If you go look at his comments, they don't
Cohen
understand the full
gotov si
picture.
je.
So let's give them a bit of the full picture. If you're liking this video, hit like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let's
Cionistički mali štakor.
one thing I am not going to allow to happen is good people to be manipulated by folks like this. We are fighting fascism. Michael Cohen knows exactly who Donald Trump is.
Kako je
With the
lik
Epstein
odvratan
files,
i
with
ljigav
him trying to
ne
overturn the
reširovate.
2020 election, and everything in between. And if Michael Cohen wants to get back with Donald Trump, good. But he's not going to do it on the back of good people. Okay. Now, here is this first clip where, as I said, Michael Cohen says that he wants to get back with Donald Trump.
I hope.
Strašno.
What happens to
Koji
when you
jadnik,
drink
koji jadnike. Ti si u fajlovima, majstore, bojiš se, bojiš.
That the president is actually listening to this podcast. Turns around and says, you know what?
Jadniče, jadni.
Yeah, I missed the guy too. Give me a call. He still has my cell number.
Aha.
It actually was once, it was once a Trump number.
You know, he's the type of guy that would call.
And I would take it.
Yeah.
Have you tried?
And I would take it.
Have you tried
No,
calling?
I can't do that.
Why?
It can't.
Why?
Because maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Can I tell you why?
So I'm not 100% certain I know what I would even say. At this
Well,
point.
I think neither one of you guys are. It's just going to be the conversation. You'll know within the first 2 seconds.
You're probably
how
right
call
about
goes.
that.
You don't know until you make the call.
Would you call Donald Trump if given the opportunity?
Pfui,
Perhaps
je.
cuss him out. Would you
Pfui.
call him though, knowing everything we know? Now, why does Michael Cohen want to do that? Michael Cohen wants to talk to Donald Trump because Michael Cohen wants a pardon. Michael Cohen sees all of the great grifting going on, and he's thinking to himself, this is small-time money. Midas Touch, my Substack. The real money is in crypto. The real money is in getting in on the grift while the getting is good. And so Michael Cohen, doing what every good grifter does, says to himself, I could be doing so much more. And all he's got to do
Ljigavac.
is throw some good people under the bus, like Tish James and anyone else who he's been defending up until this point. Because Michael Cohen has never cared about anyone else but himself. I've talked to folks who have worked with him closely, who said they're not surprised by this, that they always thought that this would happen, that it was only a matter of time. Well, it's happening right now. And let's go into more of this interview, because I think this is actually very, very, very revealing.
You don't want 1,001 violation. You're not going to lie under oath, unless, of course, you're a member of Congress, right? Then somehow it becomes permissible. I wasn't going to lie under oath. They asked me questions. I gave them the answer, and that's how I became the darling of the left. Because what they did is they took specific topics. And by the way, with all due respect to every single one of your listeners, yourself and everybody that's in this gigantic studio,
Ljigavo govno.
same thing that they did to him, the same thing they did to me, they
Yeah.
can do to you.
Yeah.
And that's my disdain for this.
Ne mogu ti to učiniti ako nemaš govana na sebi, onda ni ne smrdiš. Znači, istim govnima si sa Trumpom, u njegovoj peleni si. Fuj!
System.
So you see what he's doing there? He's saying that what Tish James did to Michael Cohen is the same thing that Tish James did to Donald Trump, and he's basically saying that the Justice Department would go after anyone. It's insane. It's insane. This is someone that we thought was someone who defends democracy.
And I don't care. Look, we all know one thing about Trump. He will never apologize, even when he knows he made a mistake. He will not. It's just not in his nature. Some people can, some people can't. He cannot. But I know in his heart of hearts, he knows he made the mistake on allowing them to convince him.
Pogriješio.
Now, here's Michael Cohen
Pedofil.
giving Donald Trump a pass for the Department of Justice going after him and saying that he knows that he made a mistake. This is crazy.
He knows he made the mistake.
Koliko su ti platili jadniče i jadni, ono.
You use the mob experience as sort of a way of, he's the boss. call me a capo, right? I'm a made guy in, we'll call it Trump land. When there's an issue, when does the mob boss throw his capo under the bus, listening to some foot soldier? It never happens. You're supposed to, smartly.
Do you see?
Ko
He is
je,
giving
ko
cover
je
for Trump. He is saying that Donald Trump is crazy. I mean, I can't. I'm actually
Gore
I'm
od crva,
speechless around
čoveče.
this. Now,
Fuj,
here's the part that I really want to focus on, because this is the one where he's attacking you. He's attacking me.
Branit
And
neobranjivo.
he's attacking
Fuj.
anyone who believed in him before, calling us left-wing lunatics.
Us together for this conversation
Right.
is there's an entire left-wing ecosystem, maniacs, that
Pogledaj
are trying to
propagandu.
cancel me.
By the way, we're not trying. We
Bolesnik.
did. He's down viewers. He's definitely down subscriptions. I think we need to do it more and let people know that Michael Cohen is a right-wing grifter who does not believe in
Ma
anything but
kakav
power,
desničar,
money,
da je
and
imao
attention.
židov, on je
I know
židov
for
koji
my
gleda
Substack, I probably
svoju
lost,
guzicu.
I don't know, somewhere between 7 to 10% of my subscribers.
From making
Odvjetnik,
those comments?
Yes, from that
pedofilski,
one comment of
čem
feeling
pričamo.
coerced and pressured.
These are
Aha.
lunatics that are saying I canceled you.
Correct.
I mean, Midas Touch canceled you, so they,
I don't know if I would say that. Yes, I will acknowledge that. Yes, they did.
He calls Midas touch lunatics. The people who, when no one else would touch him, they were the ones
A,
who gave an opportunity. And he's doing all that to get back with Trump. I don't know how, I don't know what else. There's more I could show you in this interview, but that's really what it's all about, right? That really just shows it all. That Michael Cohen's willing to throw it all away for Donald Trump. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. I think it's basically all about money. And he saw
ljigavac.
everyone else getting good, and he wanted in. We'll see. I mean, maybe he has information on Trump that he feels like Trump would prefer to have under his wing, but I'm disgusted by this. Nope. I just want to make sure you know what's happening. Let other people know. Unsubscribe for Michael Cohen.
Nevjerojatno je, nevjerojatno. U 2 mjeseca, a? Kako zmija promijeni kožicu. Samo kožicu promijeni, gad pokvareni ljigavi. Eto, pozdrav.